Let's talk about plot.
Plot? What's plot?
You know, it's the way a story moves from beginning to end.
And you think that is going to help writers?
Yeah, I mean, everybody talks about plot.
Sure they do.
They do!
But is it the most helpful way to talk about a story?
I think so. What, you got a better one?
What about story shapes?
What in tarnation is a story shape?
Oh my dear, dear friend.
If this is about triangles and rectangles and tomfoolery like that, I leave that to the 5-year-olds.
Do 5-year-olds write the best-selling novel of their generation? Do 5-year-olds write screenplays that make you weep? Do 5-year-olds write graphic novels that you read until the binding wears out?
Not my 5-year-old.
I've got 5 story structures to help you structure your novel, and you won't want to miss a single one.
Have you heard of the Frytag Pyramid?
Everyone's heard of that. Remind me what that is.
It's a 5-part structure. Exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and denouement.
You mean the denouement?
It's French. You only pronounce a third of the letters.
Sounds like a perfume brand.
You're not wrong. It simply means the resolution of the story.
So the Frytag Pyramid looks weird. Must be super rare, right?
Oh yes, super rare. The only ones who use it are ones you've never heard of. Frankenstein, The Great Gatsby, Romeo and Juliet.
But how's it work?
In the exposition section, the Montagues and Capulets are feuding, and Romeo and Juliet are slated to marry other people. Then the action rises when Romeo falls in love with Juliet, and then they marry in secret. The climax, or turning point of the story, is when Tybalt kills Mercutio and Romeo kills Tybalt. Then the action falls toward the ending, with Romeo killing himself because he thinks Juliet is dead, and Juliet killing herself because Romeo is dead. The resolution, or denouement as the French would say, is that the two grieving families end their feud.
That seems easy, but I feel like I would screw it up.
You probably would. I mean, let me give you 3 tips to help you out. 1, don't take too long on the exposition. You want to get to the inciting incident, which happens just before the rising action, as quickly as possible. 2, for Frytag, the climax is the turning point after which you can't go back, which means it happens in the middle, not the end. 3, this story shape works best with tragedies. If you're writing a happy ending, you might want to choose a different shape.
What are you doing on the roof? It's a common position of teaching, lecturing the thousands who yearn to hear my instruction. It's just me. Look, do you want to learn the second shape or not? The second shape is the 7-point plot structure. It's simpler than some of the other ones we'll discuss, but it works fantastically. I love the snake shape. Can we call this one the snake? No. Please? Hard pass. More undulation than serpentine anyhow. A good story to understand the 7-point plot structure is Star Wars IV: A New Hope. You start with a hook. This is the premise of the story. Luke Skywalker works on his uncle and aunt's moisture farm on Tatooine. Here is plot point 1. Luke chases after R2-D2, meets Obi-Wan Kenobi, and hears Princess Leia's distress call. And here is the first pinch. Luke doesn't want to help Obi-Wan, but then Imperial soldiers slaughter his family. At the midpoint of this story, he teams up with Han Solo to rescue Princess Leia. The second pinch is key. Darth Vader kills Obi-Wan, Luke's mentor, which is devastating. And in the second plot turn, which is the climax, Luke attacks the Death Star and destroys it, just like bullseyeing Womp Rats back home. The resolution is the medal ceremony, and it's a happy ending. What's the difference between a pinch and a plot point? Great question. Pinch points are outside events that force your character to take action. Plot points are actions that your character takes. I think I got this. I appreciate your confidence, but here are 2 very common mistakes. 1, forgetting character arcs. These are just as important as plot arcs. For instance, Han Solo is a rogue and an anti-hero, but he proves he's a decent guy by coming back at the last second to save Luke. 2, missing the subplot. Don't forget to include a subplot in your story. Luke's journey to learn the Force is one of the strongest subplots in Star Wars. This is all amazing stuff. Oh, I know. Let's move on to the third story shape, the snowflake. Oh. The advantage of the snowflake is that it's the most natural and organic way of structuring a book. You start by writing a single sentence pitch that captures the story in a nutshell. Ooh, I'll try. When a young orphan discovers he's a wizard, he's whisked away to a magical school. I think that's been written. Next, you expand the sentence into a full paragraph. It's a good idea to have it be 4 parts, 3 disasters and an ending. Next, write a paragraph answering these questions for your major characters. What does this character want? And why? 2, what stops this character from getting what they want? And 3, how does this character change by the end? But where does the plotting happen? Character journeys are plots.
But to make it feel more plot-centric for you, take that paragraph and expand it into a full page. Include all the obstacles in your hero's way, and include the ending. And once you're done, you have an outline for your book.
I think I was close.
You sure were.
The fourth story shape is the story embryo.
Why are you in a hammock?
It's embryonic, like I'm in a womb. Get it? For the plot embryo, you start at U and you progress clockwise around the circle. For this example, let's use Harry Potter.
I've heard of him.
1 is U. Harry is an orphan living in a world of muggles. 2, want. He learns he's a wizard and wants to be trained. 3, go. He goes to Hogwarts. 4, search. He adapts by learning magic, makes friends, finds a mentor. 5, find. He joins the Quidditch team and finds success. 6, take. He comes face to face with Voldemort. 7, return. He returns to the Muggle world. 8, change. Harry's now confident, knowing his wizard powers.
This is my favorite so far. I think I'm going to use it.
You like it because you're a Potterhead. Now it's time for the fifth and final story shape. This one is called Save the Cat.
It looks like a roller coaster.
To the untrained eye, yes.
And why is it called Save the Cat?
That refers to a good act that the hero does at the beginning of the story. The hero could give money to the homeless, help an old woman cross the street, or save a cat.
I'm more of a dog person.
In that case, I guess we'll skip this one.
No, wait. I'm interested.
I thought so. And you won't regret it. This is the most detailed story shape we've covered so far, with over 15 separate parts. Now, Save the Cat was originally written for screenwriters, but it works just as well for novelists. And the story example we're going to use for this one is The Matrix. 1. The opening image. This is a cursor blinking on the screen, a symbol that reality is controlled by computers. 2. Setup. We see Trinity bending the rules of physics and agents chasing after her. 3. Theme stated. Neo is told he looks tired and needs to unplug. The whole movie is about plugging in or unplugging. 4. Catalyst. This is also known as the inciting incident, and this is when Trinity tells Neo that he's in danger. 5. Debate. This is when the hero doubts whether he should go on this journey. This is when agents come to Neo's building, but he doesn't take Morpheus's advice to escape. 6. Break into 2. This is when your hero chooses to go on the journey. Neo chooses the red pill instead of the blue pill. 7. B story. A subplot is essential. The subplot in The Matrix is about Trinity and Neo's love story. 8. Fun and games. Stories should be fun. Here we see Neo training in martial arts and jumping off skyscrapers. 9. The midpoint. This is when Neo goes to the Oracle to see if he's the one. 10. Bad guys close in. The team is betrayed by Cypher and agents capture Morpheus. 11. All is lost. Morpheus is being tortured by agents to reveal the location of Zion. 12. Dark Night of the Soul. Neo and Trinity realize they have to kill Morpheus. 13. Break into 3. Neo instead decides to save Morpheus, which seems impossible. 14. Finale. Neo takes on the agents and wins. 15. Final image. Neo flies like Superman.
Won't my stories seem formulaic if I shove them into this shape?
You would think that, but they won't. Save the Cat is a little bit prescriptive, but it will give you an excellent outline for your story.
I just have one final question. Will I write better if I get a pipe, glasses, and a Newsies cap?
Obviously.